Good afternoon, good morning, or good late night to all of you, wherever you may be. It is Angelic Yuki once again, giving you guys something different for you guys today for RPG Maker MV. As you know, my channel is filled with videos for the game I'm developing. However, today I have for you something a little bit more interesting, if you will. In RPG Maker MV, you are allowed to make plugins, and today I have for you a plugin I am currently in development. The It's an alternate menu plugin, and for those of you who are into like Final Fantasy 9 and all that good stuff, you might recognize the look of the menu, although albeit parts of the menu are on the opposite side right now, and that will be fixed in a further update. But let's take a look at it, and let's have a look at what it is in the game. And as you can see here, we have our game here. I will tell you this is actually from Project Innocence, the second mechanic build, which I will update for a fourth time later on. And as you can see here, we have each character with their stats as if it was like Final Fantasy 9. In Final Fantasy 9, it is written like this, albeit some parts of the numbers are a little bit to the far right. However, you understand that it looks similar to the way Final Fantasy 9 would put their numbers. So that is what you can see here. And also, any status ailments from the characters will be written on the far right. The icons and all that good stuff will be written on the far right. And that's the default. That is the default setting for the plugin. Now let's have a look at the actual plugin settings. So for those of you in RPG Maker MV, you click this button, and I will also have my own tutorial for those of you who are beginning to use RPG Maker MV for the first time. So let's click on this puzzle piece, and let's take a look at the AY Alt Menu AYAltMenuFFIX Final Fantasy 9. Oops, wrong one. It does say version 1.00 beta, so that is the current version. I do want to give you some notes about this plugin, however. Note that this is a alternate menu plugin. Some parts of this plugin cannot be aliased, aliased because of the way the functions work. And most of the time, it's an alternate menu plugin. You cannot alias a function, unfortunately. So that also means that some plugins like Yanfly's core plugin cannot work with this at this time. But you never know, I might work out some magic. This is a plug and play plugin. You just plug it and you play it. That's it. Just remember, not compatible with Yanfly core engine yet. However, there is a plugin that actually still works with this, believe it or not. Just note that the buff and state icon should your character get some, be appearing to the right side of the name. Just remember that in the actual game of Final Fantasy 9, that actually appears in a box. And finally, the main menu area is on the left. It should be on the right. I'm still working on how to do that at this time, so that will be something addressed in the next update. So let's take a look at the settings you guys can play with. So on this far right, you have two categories: main menu components and status menu components. Let's take a look at the status menu components first. So the stat style, you can choose between values and gauges. The default setting is values, as you saw in the game area. Let's take a look at gauges. The state position, you can either have to the right of the name, below the MP area, or do not show it at all. The default is to the right of the name, just like in the game. So we're going to choose below MP and press OK. Status menu width is very straightforward. You can adjust the width of your status menu area. That's the one to the right of the main menu. The default right now is 550 pixels. That is PIXELS. Then press OK. And let's take a look at it in action as we have changed it. Make sure to save your game, press apply. Then let's take a look at this in action when it comes into fruition. So as you can see here, we will press X. You're going to see that instead of values, we now have the gauges. Now keep in mind that in Final Fantasy IX, the default is values. But as a developer, you can use this as however you like with the settings that I provide for you. Now, what happens to those status icons that I promise you that's below the MP bar? Well, we're going to use a skill here from Mr. Harold that allows us to absorb physical attacks for 20 ATB seconds and a potential 20% counter rate. So as you can see, the MP now below the MP bar or MP value, if you select values instead of gauges, will appear below the MP area. As you can see here, you can do a combination of this where you have the status icons to the right of the name and the gauges instead of values. It's up to you as a developer. Keep in mind, however, that once you actually publish the game, you cannot change it back. So be very careful as a developer that once you publish the game you want, you cannot change it back to another setting unless you make another update. However, there is some good news on the way for you. Sometime in the future of the plugin, I'm actually going to make a NPC character in the game allow you to change the style of the menu. But you're gonna have to wait for that option later on because it's not going to be ready for a while. So let's take a look at this with another status here. And I'm going to be using some random dude Super Tools plugin to allow this to happen. I'm going to grab my stars here. There we go. This is not my plugin. This one on the right side is not mine. I'm just going to be using it to get items here. I believe you can only have 99. Press start here or whatever button. So we have 99 stars here. I'm gonna use my taunt play thing. Then I'm gonna believe I do have enough. Then I'm going to use my magic surge, whatever. Like, let's go. So as you can see, one character has 3 status icons in the same area. So that is what you want to see. Okay, you just don't. Even the negative status icons will also appear in this area, in this general area. You receive my cursor at when you get to the MP, when you get to the plugin. Now, how do you download the actual plugin? Okay, so to download the actual plugin, let's take a look at my game development website from the very beginning. My game development website is this, aygamedev.weebly.com. This is not a .com domain. This is a .weebly.com domain, so please remember that this is a .weebly.com. Where you want to go is to hover over Angelic Yuki Games and go to AY Game Blog. You want to make sure you get this one, AY number 1, AYAltMenuFFIX. Click this, and you can go all the way to the bottom to find it here. Download AYAltMenu version 1.00 beta. Please take a look at the you can only see some shortcut. Excuse me. You're gonna see a little slideshow of some of the options you can use for this plugin. As you can see, this one is the gauges. You can see now I added the MP below the MP area for the status icons, and this one is the default one. Alright? You can also check out the customizable options and the notes about each one. And if I do give you guys a new version of the plugin, make sure to check out this post again. I'll have a different date, version, this and that, and whatever I added. Then I'll change this button to include the new stuff. Okay? If you have any questions about the plugin, you can actually comment here as well if you like. Or you can just comment below in the comments what you guys think of this plugin. Future updates will include more customizability and all the good stuff that comes with a plugin. So if you have any other questions about what am I adding in the future and all that good stuff, please feel free to ask the question. I'll try my best to reply to you as soon as possible. And if you have any other things you want me to try to add, I'll try to add them as soon as well. Just remember that I am a beginning plugin maker though. So anything advanced, you're going to have to wait for me to learn how to do it, okay? Another thing you can do just before we leave here, if you go to categories, go to AY plugins, any plugin I have done is going to be here as well. So make sure you guys check that out. And that's it for this first plugin tutorial for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. The next time I'm going to update this plugin is going to be a while here. So make sure you guys check that out if you have the opportunity to. And if you have a favorite RPG game that you wanted to try to see if I can replicate the menu look, feel free to leave it that in the comments as well. I'll try my best. It's a challenge for me to do that. Just remember, I'm only after layout, not mechanics here. Because some mechanics in the game will require a layout, a different plugin. Okay? So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys on the next one.